Well, we are going to start, today's Friday, it's whole body, so we're going to start on our backs in Shavasana. And grab your pillow or your blanket and place it underneath your head. If you want the neck roll, right, roll your blanket up. And I'm going to mute you guys on your end, but know you're all doing this together. Yeah, and you've got options for your legs. Like if the low back is feeling tight and it's pinching while your legs are straight, you can take bend in your knees and take your feet to your mat. Yeah, check in with how your body's feeling and then listening to that gut instinct, listening to what you could shift, could add. Yeah, and I like seeing all the different things you guys took. And now that some stillness has settled in, I want you guys to add in 2 cleansing breaths. And then if you've noticed that you've relaxed through your back or your shoulders, maybe the legs, some, right? You could shift, you could grow, stretch out more, take up space. When I say take up space, to me, it's a way of saying, yes, I am here, I'm on my mat, and I'm ready to move and stretch. So lengthen out wherever you felt space come in. Yeah, we'll hold the pose now for about 10 Ujjayi breaths. So you're welcome to say count those breaths starting at 10, working your way down to 1 if you need that mental distraction. Or that, I say distraction, but that's not really what I mean. I mean, the mind never stops, right? It's always on in some fashion. And so giving it a task, but something neutral to rest. Now we're going to stretch our hands so palms face up towards the ceiling. Back of your hands on the floor. I want you to pull your fingers down towards the floor. Hold them down. And then let your fingers scrunch in toward your palms. Hold, making a fist clench. Open your hands back up. Fingers towards the floor. Hold. And another fist. We're going to do this one more time. And we expand and open and stretch the palms as the fingers go down. Holding. And now fingers pull in towards your palms. And we'll clench. And then rest, hands at neutral. And everyone, walk your shoulders under some. And I want you to send your chin towards your nose. Don't like over exaggerate it. I don't want you to pinch the back of your neck, but to bring a little bit of length through the front throat. And now your head gently presses into the floor, into your pillow or your blanket, and then soften. You don't have to push really hard. A gentle press down, add it back. And release the press. Now we're going to move into the shoulders. The shoulders gently press into the floor. And soften. One more press of your shoulders down. And then release. Okay, we're going to combine the press of our head and our shoulders at the same time. Gentle press down. And then completely relax. Pause. Let's take our nose over towards our right shoulder, rotating our head, getting a stretch through the left side of our neck. Left shoulder gently presses down. Right ear gently presses down. And soften and hold the pose here. Relax through your jaw on that left side. And now we're going to slowly bring our chin back up to center. We pause at center. And now we transition over to the other side. Nose towards the left shoulder. And we gently press the right shoulder down. Left ear gently presses, it joins. Hold the press for a moment. And then soften. Stay here. If you caught on, we're going to unwind our body, starting from our head down towards our toes. Getting that full body relaxation. And now you bring your head back up to center, nose points up towards the ceiling, pause. And in this moment here, I want you to check in with your low back. If your legs are straight and your low back's starting to kind of speak to you, it's uncomfortable, you're going to bring your feet up to your mat. And more comfort for the low back is taking our feet mat width distance, knees together. So check in with your back here, see how it feels. Know you can change your leg position at any moment. And no matter where your legs are at, we are going to tuck and untuck the tailbone. You can do this with straight legs too. Slowly tuck and untuck. We don't want to rush the process. We want to give that lower back time to open up. So as you are in the tuck or the untuck, hold it for a couple of seconds before you move to the next. And we're going to pause with the arch in our low back. So the tailbone down towards the floor, creating that arch in our low back. Hold. Now from this space, you're going to rock, keeping the tailbone down. You're going to rock your hips gently left to right. We're pivoting on the tailbone. Slowly rocking the hips left to right. And then pause, rest. Low back at neutral, tailbone at neutral. And now, if your feet aren't already on your mat, go ahead, bend your knees, bring your feet to your mat. From this space, you're going to send your tailbone up towards the ceiling, low back stays on the floor, and we hold. So, and then here in this moment, so kind of check in with your knees. Are they achy? Know that we can change how the knees react to this pose by getting the whole sole of each foot down and a gentle press of the whole foot into the floor. Toes gently grip as we keep our low back on our mat. Maybe you walk your feet in more, or maybe you walk them out some to help the knees. And you can play with that, learning what suits your knees most. Okay, soften, come to neutral, feet stay on your mat. And we'll do some breath work. Inhale into your sternum, upper chest rises. And then as you empty your air out, the sternum drops down. And now our low lungs fill up mid-torso. Low lungs empty out, mid-torso drops. And now we're going to breathe into the abdomen. Abdomen drops down. Now we're going to rock our knees now left to right. Start out small. As you can feel, we're working the low back, but we're starting now to get into the outer hips. So we're working our way down our body. I want to create a gentle warmth. And now we'll go halfway over with our knees on either side. And now all the way over as far as is comfortable for you. And both sides. Knees rotating. Maybe feeling the right hip lift up off your mat, getting into the back, deeper into the back some. As the knees then press towards the floor, we get into those outer thighs. Now hold your knees over to the left side. We're not going to be here for very long, so just hold for a moment. Breathe into your right side. Empty. Even the right abdomen. And so we get this gentle stretch from the right armpit down towards the right hip. Okay, come back to center. We pause for a second. And now our knees drop over to the right and we hold, stretching our left side. We fill up the left side, expand, left abdomen expands. Ooh, all right, nice work. Come back up to center. You might want some support for this next pose. It's butterfly feet together. We're going to stretch our inner thighs. So you could place blankets, pillows, blocks underneath the thighs, underneath the knees. Because we will hold this pose for almost 5 minutes. So we want you to add in that support. At any moment, the legs feel like they're holding on or they start to shake. We need to add a higher support. You want to give those muscles an opportunity to relax. Letting gravity do the work. Yeah, way to set up the pose. Nice work, ladies. And now take a nice deep inhale. Hold that breath in up at the top. Open mouth, side out. And check in with your shoulders. Do they need a little space? You can walk them under some, palms up towards the ceiling. So we could combine here. We could like goalpost arms to help create a stretch from the center of the sternum out towards the collarbones. And if you solely want to focus on those inner thighs, just let your arms then rest by your side. And give your body the opportunity to breathe how it wants. Just let the breath happen. The mind has started to wander. Let's bring our mind back to our practice. Your press your heels, the mounds of your feet together, toes, and then soften that press. Hands gently press down into the floor. Coming back to this present moment. Then soften through your forehead. And then we bring ease into our eyes and eyelids. So you can closing your eyes, giving our eyes a break from looking. And now a very gentle press of your feet down, your hands, your shoulders, your head. And then relax, and you're going to now bring your knees up to center, back up to the top, knees pointing towards the ceiling. And then rock your knees left to right. And you're welcome to take them as far over as you want. We've done a great job so far of relaxing through the upper body, the back, the hips, the thighs. So you probably have some extra space and mobility than when you first started class. I do. And now with this next pose, we're going to come into supported bridge. You could use your blanket underneath your low back. You could use the block if you want the higher lift. And so no matter what you chose, I just honor the fact that no matter the height, there's still an opening that's going to happen. So I actually started with my block, and I'm like, nope, I want the blanket. So never be afraid to try and then shift, right, if something's not working. And I tell you what, that's a great lesson for off the mat. I know you all know that. We always get to begin again. And then once you get your support placed and you feel confident in it and you like it, from there, you're going to straighten your legs. So now we stretch the front hip flexors. Nice deep inhale. And then open mouth side out. Next inhale, breathe into the low abdomen. And empty, drop, relax. Yeah, and another opportunity to check in. Are you still happy with your choice of support? And if you are great, stay. And if not, shift. Observe, right? So take your mind's eye to the tops of your hip bones and just gently observe the feeling from the top of the hip bones. Any tingling sensations, maybe like little pockets of warmth that are traveling down towards the upper thighs. Right? And from the upper thighs, observe the sensations as they travel down towards the knees. And then once you reach the knees, you're just going to repeat this process while you stay in this pose, building that mind body connection, staying present to the pose on your mat, creating a listening for the body. You know, how many times we want to be heard. Okay, well, here you can listen to your needs here. Listen to how your body is talking, the signals it's sending. And just that reminder, once you reach the knees, you bring your attention back to the top of the hip bones and you start that process over. And this will be that last round of observing the sensations, reaching towards your knees. Once you complete that round of observation, you're going to gently press your heels down very softly and then slide. Take your time, slide one foot up and then the other. Yeah, way to take your time. Okay, feet press down into the floor, pit of the belly pulls in, lift your hips up, set your prop to the side. And then Hips come down. Let's add the knees rocking left to right one more time. All right, straighten your legs. And I will say, so this would be maybe, since we're gonna hold our legs out straight, we're gonna do some footwork. We're gonna move our feet, but if you want to roll or place your blanket underneath the knees for some cushion, that's a nice thing to add for this. Yeah. All right, so now what we're gonna do, actually just kind of like bounce your legs up and down. A couple more bounces, and then let the legs rest. And let your feet fall out like just natural. Mine went out, my toes pointed out to the sides. So however your feet land after you bounce, and if you try like, I thought about it again, I'm like, I need to bounce and just let them land where they want to land. So you can add that back in and rest. And rotate now your ankles. Moving your feet. And then switch the rotation. Move opposite direction. And then rest. Pause. We're going to start with pulling our toes towards our knees, heels press away. And now the arches press forward, heels still press away. So the arches press away from our nose as we still pull our toes towards us, heels press forward. Okay, now we switch the knife edge of our feet, the pinky edge, that edge presses forward. We pull our arches towards our nose, heels press forward. And now soften. Let your legs rest, let your feet rest. As your heels are down, your feet are down, pull the toes towards your knee and spread your toes as wide as you can. Hold and soften. And then pull your toes back toward your knees. The mounds of the feet press forward slightly as you pull your toes toward you. So we're stretching the base of the toes. And you try to separate each toe away from one another. And now relax. Rotate your ankles out. And you do that through like pressing your toes forward and pulling your toes back towards you, rotating your feet, your toes, to get into the ankles. Observe how the lower legs feel while you do this. How it affects the knees, the shins, the calves. And now we switch the direction of that rotation. All right, let the legs rest. Now, one final thing before we move into our final pose of class. Legs stay right where they're at, but what you're gonna do, we're gonna rotate the femur bones, pulling the knees towards one another, and then we rotate the femur bones out, knees point away from one another. Slowly rotate. Now just keep moving the knees in and out from rotating your femur bones. Taking your time. And now pause, let your legs rest. And then just like bounce your legs up and down, your knees up and down. Just kind of getting the whole leg to relax, not thinking about the muscles in the legs or how they need to land. We're doing it right. Let go of that. And then completely rest. Let your legs fall out however they do. Nice deep inhale. And then open mouth, sigh it out. Invite in the deep rest, letting go. Encouraging your body to relax more with each exhale. Like honoring the work you put in on your mat this morning. Knowing that you did enough and that you can rest. take a deeper breath in, stretch in some way. And you're going to come up to seated. Hands to heart center. Sitting nice and tall. Thumb knuckles up to your forehead. Together we say, Namaste. It was really nice having you out here today. The bigger class. You're welcome. I'll see you next week.